the transition. Everybody got your cup. Wait, I got peach knee high.
Right, spritzer, whatever this
Let's
is.
toast to the start. Toast to the start. All right. So up first, we got our girl Nana, the queen of streams.
Yes.
My girl, my girl.
Yes.
So we are gonna. Everyone else is gonna go backstage while Nana presents. So you guys tune in, and I hope you guys are ready to get all of this good stuff because I'm excited. I am super, super excited.
All right. All right.
Hold on, girl. Let me get your vision board, girl. Let me.
Pull her up. Pull her up, boo. Pull her up.
I'm gonna
It's
put it.
my crowded vision board.
Listen, I was
That's just a sign I got too much going on.
Listen, but it looks good though.
Mhm.
It looks good. Cause guess what? Uh-oh. Look, I'm moving too fast. There we go. There you go. Hey, Bill.
Hey.
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. Listen, I'm digging this hair and this shirt, baby. I'm
Girl,
digging
you know, I'm always one big vomiting rainbow
it.
at all times.
All right. So let's just hop straight on in and let's get busy. So in 2021, give us a quick synopsis of what that looked like for you.
2021 was very, I guess the best word to, I guess that I don't know the like one big word to describe it, but I guess the biggest thing I could say wasn't clear, right? It was a lot. I was still trying to figure myself out. I was in a lot of situations that, felt good at the time, but, weren't good now in hindsight. But the biggest thing was I was trying to reestablish myself and figure out what reestablishing myself actually looks like.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a whole lot going on in 2021.
Okay. So between 2021 and 2023, we took a 2-year hiatus.
Yeah,
and that's due to me.
I'm still blown off of that.
I can't believe how fast life took us because if you want to be honest, right?
Time is timing, child.
Listen, life has been lifing, as they say.
Man, listen.
So if you had to pick one word from 2021 to 2023, what would that word be?
Clarity. That would be the word. Like I said, in 2021, I had a lot of stuff that I was doing. You know how you do stuff just for the sake of doing it, and it felt right at the time. So I'm okay with it because it felt right at the time. But now in 2023, I'm more clear on what I want, and two, I am more than ready to just get at it. Because even I've been talking about a lot of stuff for a long time, but was afraid to go for it. So now in 2023, we're moving fearlessly. We're moving and doing everything that we said we were going to do. So that's basically the theme of this year.
Okay. All right. So let's hop into 2023.
Yes.
So I'm going to assume the title of this is If Not Now, When?
Absolutely. Yes.
All right. So what does that mean?
So a lot of stuff, like I said, there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do in the past, not even just in 2021, like years ago, that I knew was essentially my actual truth, but I was doing other things because I was afraid to do the thing. You know what I mean? So now I am at the point where I am trying to do the thing plus grow the other things and actually move as a true business owner should. You know what I mean? I'm trying to actually grow myself physically, spiritually, all the things to be able to actually live completely and unapologetically in my truth. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. So how did you get to the space of if not now, when?
Because frankly, can I cuss on here? All right, I gotta clarify. I was sick of my own shit, put it like that, where it was like, okay, girl, time, like you said, 2 years passed so fast. So it's like, if not now, when? Just do the thing. Stop being afraid. Stop counting yourself out. Stop hesitating. Stop being paranoid. Just do it. Like, just get to it. And if you don't do it now, you're never going to do it, essentially, because life is short. Nothing's promised. So that's essentially where that came from, where I'm just like, you know what? It's all or nothing now at this point in 2023.
All or nothing.
All or nothing, child.
All or nothing. So I see this beautiful phrase, believe in yourself. Why are we believing in ourselves?
Just because I realized that in the past, like, as you grow, you have a lot of what I call residual doubts that you have from the past. Even though you've grown out of it, you still have it like in your core self where you're like, you know, wondering like, okay, yeah, I know I should do these things. I know this is what I'm here for. But at this time, what is stopping me? And I couldn't figure it out. But I realized it was just, you know, you gotta, sometimes we have a bad habit of rejecting ourselves first before the world gets a chance to. And that's what I was doing. So now I'm in the position now where I'm like, you know what? Believe in yourself, know you can do it, and commit to doing it poorly until you can achieve the greatness that you're meant to achieve. So that's where I'm at with that. And that's what that means. Because I'm like, you know, no one's going to hype you up like you can hype yourself up. So now I'm just ready to hype myself up and get it done.
Okay. So first and foremost, tell my cyber niece Serenity, I apologize. We imposed on Serenity Sunday.
Fine, child.
I'm sorry. Her Kiki is sorry, right? All right. So over time, right, over the last 2 years, I have seen Serenity just literally come out of her shell through your stories on Facebook. My girl got levels of notches on her belt in Taekwondo. It's Taekwondo, right? I got the right look. I got the right sport because I can't keep up with my own.
Nah, you good.
I've seen her, and I have seen you blossom so much, you know, in the parenting realm. What does that look for you when it comes to the believing yourself?
So, as well as no one really knows, you know, but I'm special needs, as you want to call it. I have ADHD. My daughter has autism, right? So it's very hard as a parent to raise, as a special needs parent, raising a special needs child. So, you know, when I'm doing all the things and I'm doing the entrepreneurship thing, I'm spending a lot of time doing that. And I realized that I wasn't giving her full potential. And I was kind of like, you know, so focused on me doing all the things wrong, you know, because I'm trying to learn life. Like, how does someone who is trying to learn life teach somebody how to navigate life? You know what I mean?
Correct.
So again, it goes back to like what I was saying, even about my, you know, entrepreneurial journey, is that, you know, I have to stop counting myself out and know that I am capable. And I have, one, that I have done an amazing job so far. And two, that I am capable of teaching her the things that I wasn't taught. But I just have to kind of truly pour into myself first, because that's something I was not doing. I was just kind of just giving, and I wasn't pouring into myself and wondering why I wasn't getting the results I wanted. So now I'm like, okay, pour into yourself, believe in yourself that you can overcome your disabilities so she can see through you that she can overcome hers.
Okay. So then it's so crazy that that's one of my topics that I put, well, not my topics, one of my points on my vision board, generational curses.
Yeah, girl, you got to break them.
All right. So from you now to Serenity now, what would be one that you want to break with her as she continues to grow?
One thing that I'm actually actively trying to pour into her is healing her relationship, well, establishing a healthy relationship with money. I don't want her to grow up and think that, oh, we're broke, or, you know, even if I'm struggling, I want her to know that money is in abundance and that it's always going to flow to you, and that you just have to figure out ways to find it. And then also breaking the curse of inherited beliefs, where, you know, a lot of times we choose our path in our lives based on things that we learn from other people. And I truly want her to see that you can create your own path, and that you can create your own life. And you don't have to, you know, do what I want you to do. I want you to be free to do what you want to do, you know, in your heart. So those are the two things that are most important to me right now with raising her. Because, you know, as with her being autistic, people are going to tell her what she can't do. And I want her to live her life in a way where she's constantly showing them that they're wrong, you know, by choosing her own path.
Correct. Okay. So let's get into Queen's Cleaning.
Yes.
The side of entrepreneurship. You have been, as we call it, you have been banging and booming with Queen's Cleaning for quite some time.
Yeah.
So you're a mom, you're an entrepreneur. You're experiencing, you know, as they call a disability, but I don't say suffering, you're experiencing, because over time you're growing and evolving through it, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
So what does that look like being a business owner?
It's hard. I'll say it like this. You know, with me being a full-time entrepreneur is hard, but I'm also blessed in this realm to be able to carve time. Like, for instance, you know, with the way that what I say about Queen's Cleaning in our schedule, we are a boutique cleaning service, meaning that we don't take everybody and everybody don't take us. You know what I mean? And so I am able to have the flexibility where I can prioritize life. So I love that I'm able to pick her up from school and drop her off every day. And I love that I'm able to, you know, be there. But on the flip side, it's hard because, as you know, we're always doing something. Like, it's always something we're doing. Like, and then she always says, you always on your phone. I'm like, girl, I'm not on my phone, just kikiing a lot of the times. I'm actually working, or I'm doing research, or I'm doing something, you know, and it's hard to kind of make time for those things. And that's one of the things too, from 2021 to 2023. 2021, I was busy. 2023, I'm productive. There's a difference. I'm learning to rest. I'm learning to actually carve time for her and make sure that she's good and actually be present with her, because that's another thing too. When you're doing the entrepreneur thing, you aren't always present with your child because we always got something going on in our mind of what we need to be doing, or some idea or something. But I've learned to shut my brain off and focus. So actually, between the 2 years, I have really kind of paused a lot of things because I want to focus on her, because she's 14. You know, she only has a couple more years in my house. And I'm like, y'all, you know, time is timing. 2 years passed quick. And I'm like, no, she's not going to grow up and be 18 and, you know, remember that mom was always working. Like, she needs to see me. We need to be present.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I think we're all safe with this one. I see some food on here. So I'm assuming we're going to a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm trying to eat like I got some sense. I'm trying to heal myself through healthy gut health. You know what I mean? I'm trying to eat like I have some sense, work out, you know, because I understand how much that plays a part in your focus and, like, you know, your spiritual health, all of that. It all evolves around what your gut health. So I'm trying to help my gut health so I can feel better. I was able to drop caffeine for like 100 some days, you know, just focusing on eating better, purposely eating. So another word that I want to describe, you know, this year is intentional. I'm trying to be intentional about what I eat, intentional about what I do in every aspect, but mainly I just want to eat well to feel well and be able to be productive in a natural way instead of always having to, you know, down some energy drinks or coffee, stay focused.
Okay. I love it. So I see a good old travel. So I see a suitcase. Where are we going? You coming to Dallas?
Girl, I'm trying. I swear to God, I'm trying. I was like, but I do, as you said, Queen's Cleaning been moving, so I haven't had time. But I am trying to travel more. Like, I haven't been able to do it a lot this year already because I've been busy. But I just booked a trip to Mexico for her birthday in October. So I'm proud that I'm able to do that. You know, because last year she had to spend it here, and I was not okay.
So I just booked Alani a trip to Mexico in November. So for her 11th birthday, she will be on a Caribbean cruise going to.
Okay, see, we going to Mexico for a cruise. Yeah, on her birthday. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. So then we have the House of Streams. So give us a quick synopsis of what that looks like.
Okay, so the House of Streams, essentially, as the Queen of Streams, I essentially opened a learning platform to teach everything that I know. You know, I've done a lot of things, but my biggest focus has been monetizing, marketing and marketing and mindset. So I'm transitioning into being a neurotransformational coach. I'm about to get my accreditation soon at NLP. So I'm going to be teaching all things NLP, mindset, like kind of hypnosis, coaching, things like that. So that's the mind aspect of it. The marketing is going to be branding, brain-based branding. And then the money obviously is monetizing. But essentially it's a learning platform where I can teach what I know and have learned over the last, 6-7 years. And then I can also give a platform for people who want to show their expertise through teaching courses. And they can come on my platform and learn and be able to do that. And I do all the hard stuff and they just show up and teach.
I know that's right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, congratulations on that. And I can't wait to see that come to fruition, right? Like, it's fruitful. Like, you're giving something that we need, right? There's nothing worse than people opening businesses and things we don't need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And not only that, it's purposeful, right? We want everything we want, right? We always want to put that stamp on, to make it purposeful, to make it meaningful, to actually make sure that it goes somewhere, right? Because there's nothing worse than putting time into something that nobody wants. Mm-hmm. It's expensive.
Yeah. And it's something that I just want to help, because a lot of people, they don't always want to have a coach, you know what I'm saying? Some people just want to get some intensive interactive training, and that's what I'm doing. And just providing that space for people to do it. And then also people want to monetize by teaching, but they don't know how to start. So for them to be able to just come in, and then I have the platform, I help them host, I help them with their workbooks and everything, and they can just come and showcase what their passion is.
Correct. Well, it has been so amazing to catch up with you. I appreciate this from you so much, more than I ever thought, because remember, this came from a conversation me and you had back in 2021. I literally called you. I can't remember. It was the wee hours of the night. I need you to get up. We need to have a vision board party.
Yeah, I'm here for it. That's why I always make sure I'm here, because I know the roots of this. I know where it's coming from and the intent. That's why no matter what I got going on, I'm gonna be right here.
That's why I love you so much. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Up next is myself, and we are going to have Tiffany questioning me in the same manner as I question Nana. And so let's get to my vision board.
Hey, friend.
Hey, girl, hey. What's up? What's up?
First of all, I want to, and I know everybody feels this way, wants to give you your flowers, because one of the things that you've done is not only brought this vision board to life, what you're showing everybody on the screen, but you've brought it to life in the aspect of making sure that you deposit it into others. And one of the things that happened is you end up, because we started this idea, it ended up getting put in my book and stuff. And so I just want to give you your flowers for you having great dreams, you following your dreams, you being obedient in your dreams, and you being passionate about your dreams. And stuff. And so everybody welcome Akia Collins.
If I need some theme music, like how the celebrities be coming out.
Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. There you go. So one of the first things I want to start off is like, what did 2023 look like for you versus 2021? Because like you said, we took a 2-year hiatus. And so what does that look like for you?
Ooh, truthful shit. It looks like shit in the beginning. And I'm saying that because y'all know, everybody who deals with me, I am highly transparent. And the reason it looks so terrible to me is because everything happened so fast. I never really got to carve out. And if anyone deals with me, you guys know I plan. I'm a planner. I'm an executor. And so for the first time in my life, I did not have control over 2022. And I just, if you want the honest to God truth, I just got control maybe 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
I'm just being honest. I have no reason to lie.
That's funny, because that's what it looks like when Jesus takes the wheel.
And he did. And I've just been with 2 seatbelts on. 2, not 1, because 1 wasn't enough. I needed, remember, you know how the racers be having 2 on their shoulders? Yeah, I got 2.
Wild ride, going fast. So what does vision board mean for you? So because you've done it in 2021, it didn't. And I ask this because often we complete something, but we don't necessarily go back and check on it. And so your vision board from 2021 to now, what does this mean to you? How is it all coming full circle for you?
So my vision board in 2021, remember the title of the last one was consistency. I have not been consistent, but not because of lack of trying, because life has been lifing. And so from 2021 to 2023, I moved. I literally woke up one morning at 4 a.m. God woke me up, and I put me and Amir in the car because Alani was with her dad. I grabbed the clothes I could carry, and we just drove to Texas. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a place to live for real. I had a potential job that broke my heart when I got here. Literally, I just got up and drove at 4 a.m. And so with that 4 a.m. drive, you got to think, because you're by yourself. You're in that space where you're alone. And it's me, God, and Amir. Amir wants pancakes, and I'm just crying. I'm like, okay, I done moved these kids. Oh, Jesus Christ, what am I going to do? And a big part of it was, girl, if you don't start praying and shut up, that's literally what it was. And so in the midst of that, between 2021 and 2023, what really transpired for me was prayer. I had lost my way. And not because of lack of trying, literally just life gets so busy sometimes that you forget your basic fundamentals. That's why basketball players always have talent, right? Because they practice their fundamentals. Well, I didn't practice my fundamental, which was praying. And guess what? I fumbled.
Oh,
for 2 years.
So it's funny because as you were interviewing Nina, I text Ernestine and I said, God is so real, Akia's praying. And I was just so excited because us being your friends for a long time, we know what that looks like. And it took us to even get there. And so can you tell the audience like what prayer has done for you? Because I think people think of it as having to find a closet or like going somewhere and just singling themselves out when it can be done right here, right now in the spirit and all kinds of things. So what has that looked like for you?
So for me, prayer is literally just when you feel it, you have to do it. I don't care who the audience is. I don't care if I feel like I'm sitting at a table eating 10 egg rolls. If I need to take a prayer on the 9th one, that's just what I'm going to do. And mouthful and all. And the reason I say that is because we make excuses. Oh, I don't have a prayer closet. I got to pray. No, if you need to pray, you need to pray. You don't have to. If you think about it, right? God didn't have a temple when he asked us to follow.
You're right.
He just gave you the word of belief, right? He gave you all the characteristics and all the tools to pray. So guess what? That's all I got. No more, no less. And I literally just have to, when I feel it, I do it. I sit at work sometimes and I just start praying. I gotta know where I'm like, oh, I need to pray.
I love that. You don't understand I can't act like how I want to act, but I'm just like, oh my God. So when you connect prayer to your vision, right? Mm-hmm. What does that look like for you as this vision board is sitting here and we see how did you connect those two?
So if you really look at what prayer is, right? I have a friend of mine, her name is Jamisha. She randomly gave me the other day Romans 8:28. And the reason that came to play is because I was like, oh my God, literally seeing people that I write resumes for get 6-figure salaries. I'm really doing the Lord's work. Even though we're being funny about it, but if you really just want to be honest, God literally is using me as a vessel, right? So if you look at Romans 8:28, it tells you basically you're being a vessel for the word. You are being a vessel for the talents that God gave you. And unapologetically, I became a resume writer on accident. This was not what I was supposed to do. I'm just really good at wordplay. And somebody one day asked me to write their resume. A girl out of Mississippi, her name is Charlene Jackson. She was like, I need a job. Can you write a resume? I was like, well, I ain't never did it, but okay. Y'all know I'm that friend that's going to support y'all. Y'all want to rob a bank? I got the ski mask. You want to jump somebody? I'm going to help you body slam. You want to go work out? I got the leggings. Like whatever y'all need me to be, I can be. And in that moment, she needed that for me randomly because she was somebody that I met in passing. And so that's literally how the Resume Chop Shop came to play. And when I look at everything I'm doing, being a vessel, learning how to pray, learning how to speak, to other people, Romans 8:28 really is the scripture that I feel like really that just really kind of flows to me through life right now.
Can I read it real quick?
Go read it.
So this is the AMP version. And we know with great confidence that God, who is deeply concerned about us, causes all things to work together as a plan for the good who those who love God, to those who are called according to his plan and purpose.
That's it. Romans 8:28.
I think that's, first of all, and people have been saying that you've blossomed beautifully and you really have just amazed us because you've always been this go-getter. But one thing that I think to even bring attention to is that you always also, for me and what I've saw, especially since you've had baby girl, I've seen you put your family first. And so I see that's on your vision board. What has that been like with you incorporating now God, everything else, and your family? And what does that look like for you?
So family, it's so cousin, look, Dr. Cousin called me today and he's like, you put on their family. And, in his mind, he went straight to kids. No, it's not about kids. Are you supposed to put them in there? Yes, because they're yours. Those 48 chromosomes belong to me. But family looks like this for me. I put y'all on there. Never before did I put you guys on my vision board because without the family of the vision board, this does not work. My kids are mine, as long as God sees fit, they're going to continue to be mine. Right. So those are mine. This vision board, granted, it's my title, but without you guys, to me, this is an our thing, our family. Right.
Right.
So when I look at the vision board and I think about the family context of it, It's the network that you build that creates the family. It's not just automatically the kids you make. Those are mine. Family comes first. So if I don't take care of you guys, then how can you guys take care of me when it's time to do this?
Absolutely. I definitely understand that.
So that's kind of what I came with.
Okay. So to incorporate that, you also have on here, oh, you do have room. Okay. Oh, there we go. So you also have a house, follow your dreams. I've watched you do this. Like I've literally gotten to be a audience member in your television show, right? Clapping, booing at times, like, I don't like that or whatever, but whatever it is, because I'm your true friend. But right. What would you say has given you the experience of when you plan a vision board? Because a lot of people will plan a vision board, and then if they don't hit stuff, they immediately get discouraged. And because you've had this big gap, right? What does that look like, and what experiences have you had with looking at your vision board and saying, did I hit that? Did I miss that? Or did I hit it? What does that look like?
All right. So did I hit every aspect of my vision board? Yes and no. 2021, I hit everything. Because 2021, everybody on this vision board panel, we were grinding, not sleeping, not losing weight, gaining weight, losing sleep, not, sleeping too much, whatever. I hit every single target on 2021, right? No lie, hit everything. Keynote speaker for 4 major platforms. I'm a keynote speaker for the University of Kentucky. I'm hosting parties. I'm doing vision boards. I'm creating 6-figure offers for people. I hired employees. But everything was not full circle because I did not have prayer on that vision board. So in all honesty, I did not hit everything. So that's why I said it's a yes and no. If you look at 2023, me and my cousin was on the phone again today. And so I can tell you, the reason that house is there is because Lord bless my soul for this one. I am crazy enough to try to move 5 days before I have surgery. Faith. Because I feel like people who do things like this have crazy faith, or they're like schizophrenic, one of the two. And so, and maybe both. I might be both. But I need to move for various reasons because I'm not comfortable here. I feel like I'm not at peace here, and I can't bring my family joy in the current home that we live in. And so that's how I'm like, okay, girl, you gotta bring this vision board back to life, because in order to see all these things through, it has to all make sense. It has to come full circle. So I had to pick up 2021 and put it back on 2023 and incorporate everything I did not finish. So the vision board was unfinished from 2021. That little cute picture down in the left corner, funny enough, I created vision board planners and a kit, and I never sent out one kit. That's the picture of the kit in the bottom underneath the vision board flyer. All this stuff is created. But because I got in my own way, I didn't pray, I couldn't follow that dream. So life wasn't good during 2022. It was a catastrophe, if you want truth. So needless to say, that's why they said a transition is a movement, a passage, or a change from one position to another. So I'm transitioning from 2021, and I'm just going to have to go straight to 2023.
They say that the valley is the best place to be because that's where you get to meet God most of the time, right? And
I don't want to meet him too soon, though.
No, but you do want to be in his presence. But also it says Habakkuk 2:2 is write your vision down and make it clear so you have something to chase after. And so I think that you even doing this is a big thing. But you asked a question to the last guest, and one of the things you said was, what generational curses are you trying to break?
Mm-hmm.
What are those?
2, 1, not spending time with my children. I love Reba Mack to death. I do. But in all transparency, I didn't meet my mom. I lived in her home, right? But I didn't meet my mom till I was about 25 when I had my first child. And I know we all crack jokes. My mom's a better grandparent than she was a parent. No disrespect to her, she is. And the reason I say that, not because she was a bad mom, she had to be inconsistent to put food on the table. So, she had to work real hard. She worked 2 jobs. My mom barely came to basketball games. I played sports growing up. She barely came to a softball game. My mom, that's how I learned how to cook, because my mom was so busy. She couldn't cook a home-cooked meal. She didn't have the time. So my generational curse right now, Amir's on the farm with his folks. So he stayed down there for this school year. So it's just me and Alani. And Alani's about to turn 11. And I see a lot of characteristics in her from me right now. Somebody, no, You don't want to be mom at 36. Let me slow you down, homegirl. And so I'm trying to make sure I invest more time in her and do the things because we're two totally different people. Condoleezza Rice and me are not the same. So I have to slow down life so I can spend time with her.
That is so funny. So with all the plans that you have, how do you plan to incorporate this into your life?
The biggest thing that I can give to myself right now is learning time management. The minute I learn time management, I'm going to be amazing. And I've been learning that. Girl, them people be like, we're going to stay late today at work. Oh, baby, it's 4:30 when I see y'all tomorrow. I got to get home to my baby. She at home. We got to cook. We got to go eat. We got to do something. So enjoying life, following my dreams, all that is literally knowing when to nip the career in the bud and call quits. Hey, it's quitting time, boss. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Right. No, I totally get that. So in that, why do you think it's important for what kind of things are you trying to incorporate that Alani can do? So does Alani have a Condoleezza?
Condoleezza.
Does she have a vision board? Is this something that you're also doing with your children?
I wish I could show y'all the table. We're actually building one together. So we have one on the table. I'll post it for you guys later. We have one on the table. We got markers. We got Sharpies. It's going to be me and her together. And these are things that we must accomplish in this year while her brother's gone. And the reason I want them to be accomplished while they're gone, the baby always gets the most attention because they need more attention, right? So I said, okay, we're going to build. I said, Mommy has to do this with her friends, but let's do one together for me and you. And then we're going to hit everything on that board. I don't care if I don't get an ounce of sleep for a year. We're going to hit every aspect of it.
I love that. So for what you challenged us to do was do for self, for family, for future, and for finance. What are your top ones in each of those categories?
For self is going to be self-care. We were always taught to work, and never care about yourself. No, I don't give a damn. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to go get them lashes. I'm going to take myself out to lunch without visitors. I'm going to keep my hair done. I'm going to be at the nail salon. I'm going to pray. I'm going to take trips by myself. That's one piece of self-care for self. For family is actually learn how to be a family. Like I said, my mom wasn't a bad mom. She was a busy mom. And working 2 jobs, coming off one job, going to the next. She didn't raise me. I raised myself. And that's why I am probably as rough as I am, because I never had that empathy factor from a parent that you need. So for family, it's time management and learning empathy, because the army and me, when they be telling me stuff, I'm like, what? And so I have to be like, okay, Akia, find some empathy. And got the nerve to work in the hospital and had to learn empathy, right? For finances, I actually can be honest. I just learned how to save as an adult. People don't talk about that. It's a shame, right? No, I literally just learned how to save. And that's because my mom never had time to teach. So I've learned about IULs, cash value policies, learning about saving money and putting it up and not touching it and putting it in places where I can't physically touch it. Because if that fresh pair of Jordans come out, them 11s got to be in that closet. And I had to learn that. I had to learn Akia. You want to buy a house, you want to drive, a 2023 Jaguar. Well, you can't spend all the money if these are things that you want. So in the last 2 years, I've learned how to save so I can actually, do those things. And then for self, for family, and for future is we are going to host a vision board party live. Those vision board kits will come out. And if with every being in my body, I'm going to create an app for all this to come to pass. That's for future. I'm standing on it. I'm stamping it today, August 27th. And y'all give me a minute. But there's no time constraint. But all of that is coming in the next 2 years. I guarantee. I'm putting my stamp on it.
I love that. And then if you could give the audience one good tool, right? Because we're going to be giving out a lot of tools during this today. If you can give them one good tool that's a starter, right? Like what is some fuel that I can put in my gas tank that'll help me get to the next place? Because a lot of people don't have that. What does that look like for you?
Picking proper friends and family. Just because you were born with them does not mean you are tied to them. If they are not a part of that vision and they got negative vibes, and every time they tell you look fat, tell them they look fat and walk away. I'm always gonna gut punch somebody, right? But what I'm saying with that is you don't have to sit in the space of negative people. If they are not on this journey, like how you guys have been on this journey with me, I'm quick to tell somebody cut them off. You need positive people. People are dying. Like literally, I just found out one of my distant cousins that I didn't grow up with. She passed away and her grandson was killed at the same time. And so that's letting us know how short life is. That lady barely 40-something years old and she gone. Life is too short to hang on to negative people with negative intentions that don't mean good. I don't care if it's family or friends. So if I have to let y'all go, then I just have to let that person go because I am no longer going to accept the negativity from a family member or a friend. I cut off, okay, in 2022 and 2023, I cut off a 20-year friendship with someone because they did not walk the path that I felt like we could walk together. We could not hold hands on the yellow brick road. She was on pavement and I was on the yellow brick road. And I love her, but I had to know that growth sometimes means outgrowing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you guys have been here since day one. And I don't want anybody that I've ever let go. I never want anything else to happen to them. I just know for the journey that I'm currently on, they can't go with me. That's all. And that's fine.
Right.
But that's fine. But Tiffany, thank you so much for interviewing me.
You are so welcome.
I appreciate you. All right. So up next is Tiffany. Let's see. Hold on, Tiff. I got it. Let me turn off the screen.
I thought it was Ernie.
Did it change? Oh, it's Ernie. I'm tripping. Look at me. Can't even read. Bless my soul. All right. Let me change it over. Let me take you off and add Ernie to the stream. Hello. Hello, Josefina. I can't hear you. Unmute you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hello, Josefina.
Hey, y'all.
All right.
Up front. I'm getting over COVID, so I got a lot of going on. So
listen, I can tell you now, COVID numbers are rising. I work in the hospital, and every single day we get the meeting. And right now we had 20 cases on Friday. So COVID has risen. Take y'all vitamins and drink your water.
Elderberry.
Elderberry, baby. Drink it up. All right, Miss Ernest. So we're going to jump in because I know that you've been coughing through it, so I'm not going to hold you.
Okay.
All right. So through all of this, right, you have always been in Hawaii when we hosted you. You have finally got to smell the state air.
Thank you, Jesus.
State air. State air.
Put me in continental USA.
Continental, baby. All right. So in this right-hand corner, right, what people don't know about you, you are a military spouse. Now your husband has retired out of the military, so now you're a veteran spouse, right? And so your family, the direction, the purpose, the support, all of that looks totally different now.
Yes.
Because you're not in the military anymore, so now you're amongst the common folk, as we call the civilians, right? So what does that look like for you?
Frustrating. Okay. And I'm gonna be honest, like if anybody knows me, they know I loved active status. The moving, I loved it. I know there's a lot of women that hate it. It was like my favorite part. My kids get to go to different places and they get to experience different people, because what a lot of people don't understand is even though we live in one country, it's so different. Correct. So like they had to learn how to adapt and make friends with different people, right? Mm-hmm. But this transition has been a rough one because in the military, everybody cross-trained. Yep. In the civilian world, that ain't my job is real.
Yep. and I'm big on it. Big on it.
A business will stop. You can't get nothing from a business if that person for that specific need is not there.
Correct.
And so it has been, it's new, but it's been frustrating. And like, I've been in this life for 22 years, either as a girlfriend, a fiance, a wife. It's been 22 years.
Right.
And actually 23 years. He's 22 now. But so yeah, it's different, and I'm learning to navigate it and not be mad at people for what's normal to everyone else that I'm just coming to.
Correct. It happens. Okay. So how is it adjusting with the kids? Because life is different with kids.
It is, but I raised my children to always go with the flow. So as long as they don't see us sweat it, they don't sweat it. Like when we transitioned to Hawaii, my kids were getting up at 5:00 in the morning and going to school. And so everyone, like the adults around, would be like, oh my God, that's so hard on them. I'm like, they don't know any different. they've adapted to it. And until I make it a problem, but as long as they see mommy moving and grooving, they move and groove. So hopefully I'm teaching them to adapt to whatever comes and not really complain about what's coming.
That's right. Okay. So something that I know as your best friend, right? You and Tiffany have been my best friends for ages.
Right.
But something that I do know that you always struggle with was, what I'm proud of you for putting on this vision board, is self-care and putting yourself first. That's been because you know you're a mom, right? We always want to be mom first.
Yes.
So what will that look like for you in 2023? Because it wasn't on your board in 2021.
No. And let me be clear, I've been a mom for 22 years. I was
22.
16-year-old when I began this journey on my own. It's truly saying no, like the power of no. I used to feel guilty for saying no. Like, how dare I? My husband makes it so I can wake up and do whatever I want. And I'm home with my kids. And I used to feel guilty for that. But now no is you asked at the beginning of the show, what's for dinner? And I'm like, that ain't none of my business.
Look, they old enough now, peanut butter and jelly ain't never heard.
Look, hey, they got some ham and turkey down there. I just went and bought some for you, okay? But
Baby, there you go.
for me, it's taking the time by myself because I used to feel guilty for that. So it's really like even just saying, give mommy a minute, or taking a nap, or I'm on this binge where I'm not getting my nails done right now because I really feel like they're doing something to acrylic and I'm not liking it. So my nails just kept breaking. I didn't want to do it anymore. But it's just putting me first. And I've never put me first. I've never been selfless, not selfish. I've never been selfless enough to put me first because I felt like everyone needs me.
Correct.
But I realized that the world will go on if I'm not here.
Correct. Correct, it will. All right. So let's talk about, so what people don't know about you, while you were in Hawaii, you became an ordained minister, right? So what does that look like? Because you weren't into, again, I'm going to play that with everyone. In 2021, your path in 2021, I'll never forget, you were writing a book to tell spouses what it looks like to be a spouse. In the military, and then you transition, and you was like, you know what, I can help them a different way. So if you look at becoming an ordained minister, and if you look right here in your future corner, that was like some schooling, because I see Dr. Ernie up there, right? So walk us through that journey, right, of what that will look like.
I became an ordained minister because I tell people, like, I get tired of people saying they're called to something that they're not called to. And so God called me to love and marriage. He did not call me to sit on nobody's, at least not yet, but that's not what he told me. I'm not going to be in nobody's church saying I'm Minister Ernie and doing sermons and stuff. That's not what he called me to. But to be able to fully complete the process of the beginning, but the ending part of certain relationships, to marry people, I had to become ordained. And just, I know that's what God wants from people. And I know that's an area that I'm good at. So I started counseling couples, and it was great. And then I had been running from certain aspects in life. And then God just kind of shook me one day and was like, you are supposed to be a clinical psychologist. Like, stop playing small to yourself. Stop saying that you're not good enough. Stop saying that that's not for you or that's too big for you. And so, like, I'm on the journey to going back to school to become a clinical psychologist. I want to help people. I mainly want to focus towards inmates and military personnel, but I want to help everybody.
Well, and then here I am. I'm sick of everybody stuff. The opposite.
No. And like, here's the thing, right? So, like, if you know me, you know I had like this whole Miss America thing where, like, I really want world peace and all that, right? So I know realistically I can't obtain world peace by myself.
Correct.
But I feel like if I help somebody and I change their life, then they can help somebody and change a life. Who can help somebody and change a life? And it'll become contagious.
They keep on giving.
Yes, that's the goal.
All right. So within all of that, right, because you have been a military spouse, you have been, basically, kind of isolated in Hawaii because it's an isolation state, right? Like, you are just way yonder.
Yes.
So on here, when you got here, people don't know you got here. You guys moved into your new home, and you called me one day and you said, "Key, I have an epiphany. I need to go back to school." And I think it was last week we talked about the people are just taking too daggone long
Yes.
with your paperwork and things like that. So in the midst of all of this, right? What does that look like? Because I know that is something just so stressful because you've come all the way from Hawaii to come here to get used to what we're doing. So on your vision board, what does that look like now?
So what I did was, everybody thought I was strange, but I actually, at my age of lovely 38, I went on college campus tours, and I was just seeing every college and doing the whole experience. And there was 3 places that I just wanted to go for my bachelor's, like to finish out my bachelor's. And that just kind of smacked me in the face. And I was like, I'm starting in the fall. And I was making plans, and it was kind of like, I love when God smacks me sometimes because I know what he's planning for me is better. But I got smacked, and he was like, you're not starting until January. So then I go, okay, God, like that means something's coming, or I need to prepare more for something else. Like whenever he gives me these breaks, I know what that is.
Great.
But I wanted to cry. I did, because I had a plan. And now this pushes my plan back. But I'd rather enjoy the journey and be where I'm supposed to be at than to go all the way around the mulberry bush and keep not hitting the mark, because I want to do it my way.
That's it. That sandal hurt, don't it?
Actually, what hurt was the hives. I ended up breaking out in like hives all over my arms. And every time I thought about school, my whole body would break. I'm like, oh no, this is too much. Like the stress of it all. So yeah, he got me this time, because I was trying to be hard headed. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just pick. And I was trying to force something, and he was like, no, don't. That's not for you. Is what he did.
That's it. That's all. That's it. I think I can tell you from my own personal experience. I went back to school to finish my master's, and so randomly I was stressed out. I'm like, oh my God, I got to try to fly 57 people to Indiana, right, for a master's degree. And I ended up emailing the lady. She's like, it's going to be in Irving, Texas. I'm like, where I work at? So I ain't got to go nowhere. I was like, okay, God. Because I ended up going back to school because the job paid for it 100%. The stress of me not finishing my master's degree was because of money, finances. Yeah. I'm like, well, I can afford it, but I mean, if I ain't got to pay for it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I think you'll be able to teach people that, whether it's the finance part of going back to school, whether it's the mental stress because you want to go to a specific campus, it doesn't have to always look that way. Because look at, now that you decided to pick January, you haven't broke out in hives since.
No. And I kept saying, I was like, me and my husband, we sat down, and he was like, you just really want to go to UTSA. And I'm like, no, I'm saving UTSA for my master's. And he was like, you want to start this again? Like, just go to UTSA and stop it. And I just was like, all right. Like, I'm in love with that campus, but it was like, I was saving it. Like, ooh, that's going to be my reward for finishing my bachelor's. You know,
that girl said reward like at Starbucks. Yeah. I said, not a reward like at Starbucks.
Look, you know, because when you finish one degree, you'd be like, I don't know if I want to go back to school. So I was trying to save it to be like, okay, well, here you go, dangling that carrot for me. But I'm just gonna bite the bullet and go to finish my bachelor's and then go right into my master's, and go right into my master's.
Okay.
And then I got another school for my doctorate, and then I'll be done.
All right, so we're gonna wrap you on that. So if you had your one word, so the title of this is the transition, because we have done a lot of that in 2 years for sure, especially you.
Yep.
Let me rephrase. What word would you use to identify your current state to help someone?
It truly would be transitions, not only for the military side of it, and retiring and figuring out what retirement looks like, not only for myself, but of course I'm a wife. So I have to navigate my husband in areas that he's not willing to navigate himself in. Right. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people don't know I have an identity crisis. Right. And so I still have to navigate myself through that. I have to navigate myself through that because it's not a lot of people that can help me. And we've been We paid a lot of money to get help. And there's not a lot of people that can help with that. So it's really transitions and like accepting them, not being like, woe is me, or why is this happening to me? But being like, okay. Because it's like the best part about life is when you get through stuff and then you look back and you be like, dang, that was nothing. I overcame all that. Like, I don't even remember. I remember going through it, but I can't even tell you that hurt no more because it's been washed away. Like, I did what I was supposed to do. And so it's truly transitions and truly figuring out what to do when you've either been sold or abducted.
Correct.
And no one can help you. So I know that I'm going through this of finding family and finding heartache in the process, but I'm going through it so I can help other people navigate, because I'm not the only person that was abducted or sold, or I'm just in my world, I'm the only one and nobody knows.
Well, in our circle, but guess what? You still are Ernie.
I am.
Regardless to what happened 38 years ago, I will say this, I'm proud of you for being able to navigate through something that could literally tear anyone else down.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, let me find out Reba ain't my mama. And she been walking around here acting like it. Girl, let's get we're gonna get in this grass because I'm going to have to tell you something about you. But it was, you ever thought that God gives everybody a different story on purpose?
Absolutely.
So
God gave me my life because he knew I could handle it. He has put in everything and every tool I've needed to overcome, and even every struggle. There's some parts of it, of the bad parts of the childhood trauma, that truly, because there was a childhood trauma, I got to navigate through something before it was time for me to learn how to let those traumas go.
What they say, losses turned into lessons, lessons turned into love. So, yeah, I heard that. And I was like, then you like think about it. You like, because then you have to remember whatever that lesson was. You need to love yourself through it.
Yes,
So,
and that was the part. I didn't think I was lovable, so I wasn't behaving like I was lovable until I learned, like, you are worthy. Like, no matter what nobody else says, you got to know who you for, and that's just it. I am not for no earthly being because they don't help me like he do. You know what I'm saying? They don't open doors like he do. So
that's right.
Once I learned that God loved me and I am worthy, and this is just a testimony for other people who may not be strong as me to navigate through it, I'm okay.
That's it. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. I hope that this COVID cough goes away from you, girl, and that you can get back out here to being soccer mom 3000, because that's what I call you.
I am. It's football mom right now.
Okay, well, come on through. What's the two boys that played in the Super Bowl? Their mama name? The Kels. Is it the Kels boys? I can't think of their name right now.
I don't know, but they need to remember the name KJ Humphrey, because it's gonna be in somebody's lights.
That's tell him Titi on the way. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, so we have up next Miss Tip. All right, look, Tiffany got this difficult vision board. Let me see if I can kind of find it for her. See what my girl got going on. Let's see if we can pull it up. All right.
I have two vision boards because I wanted to show my vision board for 2021. And then I wanted to show my vision board for 2023.
Okay.
Because I think it's important just to kind of show what you've done and where you're headed.
Let me get there. All right. So we're going to share yours straight out the email because I can't upload it right now.
It's because I sent it to her late, guys. Just letting you know.
All right. So if I'm not mistaken, this is your...
That was my 2021.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bottom. Discovering self-revelation. There you go. All right, Miss Tip. All right. So, 2021. Girl, Sisters That You came to light. You guys got ready to start transitioning. You're talking about moving away. You were starting to get into coaching and counseling. So the key word in 2021 was consistency, and you have been highly consistent in that journey, right? Even with the whole move from Washington State to Texas, right? You have been tremendously consistent. So walk us through 2021, mingle into 2022, and then tell us what happened in 2023.
2021 was like my obedience level is like, I don't like getting whooped. And so if God tells me to do something, I'm on it. And so what ended up happening is in the summer of 2021, God told us that we were going to be moving to Texas, and we had 6 months, and literally we just we made it happen. God came through. He showed up. I mean, from finding $3,000 checks in the mail to just all kinds of things that God was doing stuff. But it also reminded me, because God asked me, are you consistent in your obedience? Are you going to do what I say so I can show up for you, right? Or are you going to be focused on what your conscious mind can see? And so in that, I had to actually go back to, what does faith look like for me? And faith is seeing, not seeing what you see, but hearing it. It's everything that you hear. And so I had to listen to God's promises, write down the things that I really wanted to do, and then go into those things and actually be truly faithful, because it wasn't like God said, okay, well, now the money's going to come. It's are you going to show up where I need you to show up before I actually give you the bigger blessing? And so 2021, my book comes out, I sell out the first time, and then I get the second round, and I move, and I have to find a whole new audience. And so in 2022, it's I put on my first conference, which was amazing. 50 people showed up for this conference, and in Texas. So I didn't know anybody. So God was just hey, wherever I am, that's where you are. And so 2022 was me doing, I was doing book clubs at boutiques and stuff like that. Lots of stuff was happening, and I could see God moving. And I also saw the connections that he was making. And then I got my book in a bookstore. I got my book in a bookstore after they had shut down, closed off any new book people coming in. I went in there, pitched myself. Lady was like, okay, we'll try you. I had the most expensive book on the shelf, which was $45. And my book sold out every single time. I was the best seller, the top seller in the whole entire bookstore. And this is books with celebrities books in here, bestseller books in this store. And so in that, God was showing me also adding worth back to myself, because one of the things that I didn't have that was stolen from me, because that's the devil's job, is to deceive, steal, kill, and destroy. He was stealing my value. And so God was slowly putting it back, because if he dumps all your value on you at once, you'll think you are the top, head BIC in charge, right? And God was like, but that's not who you are. You're a child of God. Don't put those bad connotations and negative connotations on you, because life and death are in the power of the tongue. So you have to be very mindful about what you say and what you call yourself. And so God was telling me, I'm going to keep putting this value in you so you can remind yourself. And it was funny, because there were many times me and you had conversations. You're like, Tiffany, don't you do another session for free? Don't you do another speaking thing for free? Don't you do this for free? You constantly were putting value in me. And then in May or June, I met up with one of my colleagues, and he was like, Tiffany, his name is Steven. And he was like, Tiffany, don't you do another couple for free? And he wrote down on a napkin what my prices were. And I put it in my purse, and I stuck to it. And so in August of 2022, I spoke at this event, and it was for free. And it was because I'd already had committed to you before you went off on me. And so, so I was like, this is my last one, Lord. And in this event, I met somebody that ended up then giving me almost 6 figures of salary in a short amount of time, just because God was saying, I'm putting value back into you. And so it was one of those things where I had to recognize, I'm worthy, I'm valuable, and I don't have a problem telling you, no, a session is $127 because you need to buy in. And if you don't buy in, because what you get from me, and that's what you were telling me, you're like, hey, when people come to you, you're giving them a solution quickly, so then they don't think they need you for another year or two. I was like, okay. So you're like, you need to charge for that 1 year gap that they're not going to come back to you.
Listen, y'all know consultations ain't free. Ain't nothing free. You can buy that wig, you pay for this consultation. I'm always say that.
Yes, absolutely. So in going into 2023, was a little rough, but God was saying, do you trust me? And he brought me back to the Elijah story where he had to take Elijah to the Kerith and the ravens and had to feed him. And he had to drink from this brook after there was this drought. And God was saying, can you trust me enough to feed you? And so in 2021 and 2022, I completed all of this, majority of this besides going out of the country. And it was like, I kind of blew my mind when God had me sit down and say, okay, now what's your next goals? And I was like, but I haven't. And he's like, go back at your list and look what you've done. And I killed it. I mean, I brought life to it. I didn't kill it. I brought life to it. I brought so much life to it. And so then that moves on to my 2023 vision board. And these are my new things that I'm working on. And so, and some of them are still the same, but some of them are just more rooted.
Correct.
And just more like taking back, going deeper levels of yourself and peeling back the onion to get to the core, to
Correct.
really actually do some deep work. And so that was one of the things God asked me was in 2023, he said, I'm going to refine you because I need to get the small remnants of impurities out of you for where I'm about to take you.
Correct. So something that anybody that's a parent on this call, we've all been reflecting on our children. And I saw, a lot in passing on Facebook and just watching. You and Ja did a lot of Mommy and Me mini clips and just having open discussions. And I could say this, I actually had the opportunity to grow up with my mom and actually have conversations about real life things. And my mom actually not shy away from the questions I asked. But you'll be amazed, right, at how many women have never actually had the ability to have a real life conversation with their mom. Yeah. And depending on where their mom comes from, it not be seen as disrespectful because they're asking a real life question.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. It amazes me. Like I have, certain family members, like if I say a certain thing, that's disrespectful. I'm like, well, I grew up, my mom let me say the word lie. You can't say lie. It's bad. Well, if she lied, ma'am. But we grew up, you're telling the story. I'm not telling the story because it's not fiction. It's not non-fictional. This is
right.
I need to know why she lied. And I need to put emphasis on lie, but I don't think people realize how important it is. That's really a part of a generational curse that you're breaking.
Oh, absolutely.
We were literally taught that we weren't allowed to have that kind of conversation. I'm like, well, if you want the truth, maybe if our parents had that conversation, a lot of things that these children are experiencing wouldn't transpire because we're transparent enough in the beginning to guide them before it gets too bad.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And so even just to speak on that, there's Dear Little Me that's coming out in the fall, not in the fall, in 2024. And it's about looking back at me in hindsight. And because Jay is experiencing a lot of things that I've experienced, and one of them is just me finding out a couple years ago that she was molested. And so that was huge, and that was like, could you imagine I'm a clinical sexologist and God giving me this big burden, like someone harmed my child. And then God asking me to sit on it and say, okay, let's work through this. And so what it allowed me and Jay to do, and it allowed me and my mother to do, and it's allowed me to facilitate a lot of conversations between parents and children because God has given me the assignment of breaking generational curses, is that how to talk to people, how to ask questions and how to be an active listener. A lot of times when we're talking to parents, we're immediately dismissing their experience versus what we experience. And it's like, when I ask my mom stuff, I'm just listening now. Like, unless it's present and I'm trying to like, hey, let's back off on saying stuff like that. In the past, I can't really give her advice. I can just listen because now she's showing me where she's at. And God always, it's like, meet people where they're at. Don't drag them to where you're going. And I have learned that. Like, this is something where I'm just like, even with Jay, just making sure that I'm meeting her where she's at and constantly like reminding her that she is worthy and that all these things don't define her and and God was in it and what is he doing and what's your story and what does that look like? And so for me, that's been huge. That's been something that has made me even go into neuroscience. And so now I'm just like studying to be a neuroscientist and stuff because I'm just like, I want to know how it truly affects the brain, the body, and the spirit. And if you can connect all three, what does that look like for you?
Right. What does it? Okay. So if you had to pick one good word to identify what from 2021 to 2023, what would your word be?
Discernment and refinement.
That's 2 words.
I know. And I'm telling you, I say 2 words because in order to be refined, you have to be able to let go of the impurities that you are thinking that are okay for you. Discernment is judging well. And if I don't have discernment of the pruning God is doing in me, I will hold on to things that are not for me. I will hold on to toxic traits and go around leaving toxic turds everywhere for people to step in. I will continue to allow that. And so refine is big because that's like what he's doing, but you don't know what the refining happens if you don't have discernment. If you don't necessarily know what that looks like for you and you're struggling, like if you're like, I've asked people, well, how have you changed? And they can't really pinpoint. They only can pinpoint that they don't do something, but they don't necessarily reflect it back of how it's changing actions that then lead to something else. And
Correct.
So that's the word I would choose.
Well, I appreciate you so much for dropping in. I appreciate you again for interviewing me because I definitely forgot to ask you. In my mind, I was like, shoot, I was supposed to ask her to interview me too.
Okay, I do want to say one last thing. I just became the vice president of a TV network called Grow Her Network. And I want any woman that is interested in growing her network and being a part of this community and this broadband to email me, because I think it's really important that we grow our network. And that's what you've been doing. And that's why I wanted to say this, because I'm like, you literally yesterday, you put me in a group text and you're like, hey, hit this lady up. Da, da, da. I think you guys would be a perfect connection. It's like, that's the biggest money that you have is networking. That is the biggest thing that you can grasp is learning that. And you've introduced us to all these people on here, and these people all have different talents. And so I'm just so proud of you that that's something that's been your focus, is growing our network.
Well, I appreciate you guys for being a part of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, up next is my guy. It's Mr. Casimir. Let me add my guy in here. Sir, what is up? How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Living this dream.
So you took mine and made it a little bit more appealing.
Well, I mean, I wasn't going to read it line for line. Definitely not. I figured, people would want to follow, line by line, or, if they watch the replay, at least they can see kind of where you came from.
Right.
So, sir, it has been some time. It has been quite some time since we have spoken, since we have done this. We did vision. Me and you did a vision board in 2022. We did an individual one, and we just talked about how to get a job and, what recruiting looked like. So what does that look like now?
What does recruiting look like?
What does recruiting look like for you now?
It's heavily dominated on artificial intelligence now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are not realizing that they have to have a resume and a profile that's able to get past a robot.
That's it.
And kind of like navigating the ins and outs of artificial intelligence and applicant tracking system. It's difficult, but I'm more so now. I've moved from in your face recruiting to the administrative side of it.
Okay.
So I'm more so I make the offer, do the negotiations, and I have a recruiting assistant that does everything else.
Okay. Assistant. Okay.
So yeah, I mean that's the biggest jump that I've made. And I actually work in a government capacity now in our county government. So, I mean, it's different. It's different. It's not the same game that it was 2 or 3 years ago. And that's why I encourage people to be ever evolving, because this thing is never stagnant. Time is of the essence and everything always changes.
So let's go into evolving.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at your vision board based on the first one we did. And there's so much evolving in here. Like just in your self category, right? The biggest thing I see on here, which people, it may not be huge to people. Every single one of us talks about vacations. Every single one of us.
Listen, PTO is prepare to others.
That's it. Hello.
Others for me not to be there.
That's all right.
If I get 3 weeks of vacation, you better believe I'm taking all 3 weeks. I'm taking floating holidays. I'm doing it all.
That's right.
Taking it all.
That's it.
So yeah.
All right. So we got this whole, lose 20 pounds, gain muscles, and exercise, but that also plays into the cook more.
Yes. So
Okay.
I've started to cook more a little bit. Of course, since I'm, by myself in the house, I'm the only person that's responsible for my health and my well-being. And McDonald's doesn't care how healthy I am. Neither does Burger King or any other fast food restaurant. So it's incumbent upon me to actually take the reins and the responsibility for my own health.
Yes. So we have finished this doctoral application. So how crazy all of us want to do that.
Yes. So
all of us.
I actually just started the doctoral process to get my doctoral degree, business administration. So I just started that. It's a tedious process. They want letters of recommendation. They want resumes. They want transcripts from when you was in kindergarten. They want everything, right? And at first it was kind of like, man, I don't feel like doing all this. I got my master's. I'm cool. But I thought about it, and to get to the level that I want to get to, is going to require a doctoral degree, because I want to be able to teach and impart into other people, and I can't do that with I could, but I want to become tenured and do it with a doctoral degree.
That is proper, and I can't wait. So I need to make this proclamation for all of us. I feel like when we all get this doctoral degree, because we're all going to get it at different times, I think we're going to make a very strong effort to be at each other's graduations.
Hey man, I'm
really big on us being at graduations now. So many people are dying, and we are not. I think we need to learn how to be in each other's company.
Exactly.
And celebrate each other beyond a Facebook post and pictures. So I really would love for us to I remember that whole business shower thing I was really wanting to start. I think we need to start graduation showers, and really be in each other's presence. There's no love like it. Right?
All I need is a reason to come down to Texas or Mississippi or wherever.
Well, we move.
And I'm there, God has blessed me so, just by stepping out on obedience. You were one of the people that I called. I was working a full-time job, and I was unhappy. It was toxic. Racism was at an all-time high, and so was Audacity. And I had to get up out of there. And so I got presented with a contract position for 6 months. And now anybody knows, if you work in a full-time job, you do not leave it for a contract. It's just the certainty and everything. So I was calling around to friends, and Nakia was one of the people I called around to. Long story short is that contract turned into a permanent position, which turned into a $30,000 increase in salary. So that obedience and that trust and that faith in God that everybody has been talking about, I have literally lived that within the last 2 years. To come from where I was to where I am now. It's just the trust, God, you really gonna have to take care of this, because this contract could end at any time. But the blessing of God was that I stepped down on faith. The contract never ended. They wound up turning me over to a permanent employee, and here we are.
I remember that conversation. I remember when you called me. I was like, take the job. You know me. I'm gonna tell you to take the money first. We can always buy benefits, right? Oh, but I got benefits, sir. Trust the process. Do it. And I know people are like, well, why would you tell somebody not to go away from their benefits? Everything is an end game. You can always find a job.
Right.
Always find a job. Come on through. Let me give you a round of applause. Come on through. All right. So you talked about something I said earlier, the network being the family, right? Strengthening the bonds with your family, creating a family, having your first child. Yeah. Sir, you were supposed to be a hoochie daddy like the rest of us and have it a long time ago while it was cheaper.
Man, listen. My mama made sure she put the reins on that. She made me well. She made sure that I focus on school. She made sure um, that I focused on what was important. And then she told me kids will come. And then I'm still waiting on the kids.
Well, I
But
got two for you. If I can.
I got godchildren, and I pour into them all that I can. I have nieces and nephews, but that piece of me still feels kind of like, I won't say a void, but it still feels like, okay, I've got everything that I've been praying for so far,
Mhm.
except for that. So it's coming. It's coming in time.
All right. So something I'm super excited about because I remember this text message. Let's get into for finances. So I remember you text me, friend, I'm ready to write a book. I remember you had to put the first book on hold because of your position. And see, that's why you needed that contract job because
Yeah.
some people was trying to put that noose on you, and that
Yeah.
wasn't for them.
Yeah.
You had created something great, right? And boom, you finally sent me the text because I know they had took your motivation when they, put that clause on you saying you couldn't write that book. And then when you text me, you say, "Friend, I'm ready for you to read my book." And now you like publish that book, sir.
So the book is written. It just needs to be published, and get out into publication. So it is written. It's called "It's Not Your Resume, It's You."
That's it.
Because a lot of times we think that if we have and I'm a resume writer, so are you. So I wouldn't say don't get a resume because then I'll be taking money out of my own pocket.
That's
But
it.
the truth of the matter is that we can write $1 million resume. But if you're not shopping that resume around into the proper places with the proper people in the proper channels, it's not going to do anything for you. It does you no good. So you have to know where to shop that resume around. You got to know who to shop it for and how to tailor it to what you want to, where you want to go. So yeah, that's what the book is about. It's going to be something.
I don't think people realize the validity of a resume. Like without that, let me tell you something. I did talent acquisitions and recruiting. It was the most hateful, loving position I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I hated it so much, I was a director of HR and I had to fill in our talent acquisition position because the lady got ill and she couldn't do it. So I had to start looking at resumes. In all honesty, as a recruiter or as the director of talent acquisitions, you only have 20 good seconds to scan a resume, right?
Exactly.
Maybe 20, and 20 is being kind of.
That's generous.
That's generous. Yeah. I remember this is what made me open up the resume chop shop. I was reading a resume, interviewed the girl, and that girl looked me dead in my face with a $12 million property manager and said, "Oh, you guys are grown. You guys got good careers, girl. Get your ass up out of here and go on. Because I know you didn't sit up here and talk to this billionaire like that and want this man to offer you this job." And that's kind of what kind of like really, and then Tiffany's on here. I remember calling Tiffany when I was working in Mississippi. I was driving home. I had smoke coming out of my ears. I was so embarrassed that the girl sat there on that interview and said, "You guys are grown. Baby, colloquialisms is not what we're supposed to do when we're trying to get the bag." But I was embarrassed because she was 22 years old. And at that moment, I realized she had never been taught what to do. It wasn't even her fault.
Yeah.
It sucks, right? Because you're supposed to be responsible for self in your interviewing process. Like you're supposed to be able to read your resume, love your resume. But that young lady didn't know. And that's what it's spent.
So that brings me to like a point that I always tell people now is that that's how you find your purpose. When you are angry when something is done wrong, whatever makes you the most angry when it's done incorrectly, that's probably where you're going to find your purpose.
Right.
And so that's also how I found my purpose is I've seen resumes done wrong. I've seen people pay people and the resume was still horrible. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, it drove me into that field, which was a segue into business plans and essay writing and all other kind of stuff because I gained the trust of people getting them jobs and stuff like that.
Yep, that's exactly it. And then let's talk about something that, me and you started working on to create together. And of course, if anybody knows, I'm currently hurt right now. No, I don't look hurt, but I literally got diagnosed with something called cervical stenosis. So I'm getting ready to have another neck surgery in the weeks coming. But it was something that me and you had talked about. We had assessed as part of our vision boards, but as far as being able to push that to the next level was when we created CAS, create, assess, and scale, right? We created that, we were supposed to take that to the mountaintop and, shout it and make everybody jump on board. But go ahead.
But you know what I do with this, though? I use this personally in my job, with everybody that I deal with. They don't know I'm doing it, but I use it to kind of, dissect what the need is, or where we need to go, and how we need to, rectify whatever the issues are. So,
and I think that's important because, in all honesty, it really works because if you're looking at what you want to do in life, right, the CAS method works. You're creating the vision, but now you have to assess how the vision is going to go. Right. And then once you assess it, right, you have to scale it so it can come to life. Because just because we have everything on this vision board does not mean that we can create and assess and scale. Some of these things are just dire wants that we want to fulfill. But when we go and really assess it to try to see if we can scale it to, make it fruitful, it's not so appetizing sometimes, right?
Yeah, it's a hard pill to swallow.
A very hard pill. And so something that you do have on your vision board that I think is cool with that is for your finances, you put gain 2 clients a month with a retainer agreement.
Yeah. Because I'm like everybody else on this call, I was severely undercharging for resumes. I mean, I don't even want to put the price out that I was charging.
Don't do it because that makes me.
It's embarrassing.
Don't do it.
It's embarrassing. But through the help of Kia Collins and some of my other friends and James, Trent, James, everybody. But when I tell you it was dirt cheap, and I shouldn't have been doing this. It basically was giving the information away. But now it's gotten to a point now where I need to assess and then get some retainers in place, because I've literally had to go to a point of turning people away. And that's the place that's right where I want to be at.
Nothing wrong with it. I will turn a client away in a heartbeat. I love y'all, but you also got to know what clients fit your brand, because you also are needing that client to push a referral. No matter what you sell or no matter what you service, that next client comes from that current client.
That's right.
And you have to be strong enough to turn a client down. That's why I make all clients do consultations. Yeah. I need to talk to you, because if I can't help you, let me refer you. And if you just can't be helped, I just don't know.
James said they want to know backstage. James, I was charging people $50 to do a resume.
Oh, that made my teeth.
I was charging people $50. I'm sorry, Dr. McGarry. I was charging people $50 to do a resume.
I remember when I met him. I said, "How much you charging?" Did I cuss at you? Y'all know I cuss when I get upset. I think I cussed. The hell, sir? Raise some damn prices for various reasons.
Yep.
Yes, go get a switch off the tree. No, but in all honesty, we had to grow. And so me and Casimir became friends because he actually became a client. He became a branding client when I was helping people elevate their business when I had a different time structure. And look at him now.
We met on Clubhouse.
Yeah,
we met on Clubhouse.
Yes,
and so
indeed.
it's just it's the power of network. It's the power of having like-minded people. It's the power of having people that won't allow you to settle. Because I learned early on that the people the closest to me were the cheapest, and they weren't my target audience. I thought that they would be my target audience, but found out very slowly but surely that nah, bro. I've had family away. Nope, can't do it.
All right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, so we're gonna wrap you on it. So we've just definitely dabbled into your future and setting up, to scale your business, setting up, the tools and the foundation to have, a prosperous marriage and, creating kids, and all that good stuff. So if you had to pick one word from the last time you did your vision board till now, what would that be?
I think James said it in his comments. Elevation. Elevation. Moving from one place, one mindset to another, one job to another. Just continual elevation. Over the last 2 years, there have been some hurdles, but I can truly say, with the help of the Father, that those hurdles really didn't feel like hurdles. They didn't feel like hurdles at all. They were bumps in the road, but I got good shocks in my car, so I really didn't feel them. You know what I'm saying? So
That's it.
So yeah, elevation. That the hurdles don't really feel like hurdles anymore.
That's it. Look, James hit up the nail on the head. Bro legit sounds like a millionaire.
Yes, speak that.
Come through.
I need a whole lot of money to be in this. Okay, never mind. Y'all been
There's
Christian.
a whole lot of money in this. They know the words. They know the words.
And truthfully, like, my spirit is like so lifted because just to hear people who are ordained ministers and walking in faith, it strengthens me to do that next thing that I know I'm called to do. And that's to lead people. So y'all be on the lookout for that too.
That's it. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you for taking this time and jumping on this board with a stranger that you didn't even know from Clubhouse.
Hey, it's been a good ride. I love it.
All right. So next up is my girl, Miss Michonne. Hey,
Hi.
girl. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
So listen, I'm so hurt. You over there cooking my favorite dessert.
I know. I'm so excited. When you told me 4:30, I was like, oh, I got a little bit of chance to fix this crust, get it ready. And all I got to do is pop it in the oven. I was like, oh, it's ready because I did the butter yesterday. So I was like, man, I got to get this food ready. That's all I've been excited about is this peach cobbler all day.
Listen, when you put peach cobbler is my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
I can eat about a pound.
Well, my secret ingredient is cardamom. So I know y'all don't know about the cardamom, but that's my secret ingredient for anything that has to do with like cinnamon rolls, French toast, whatever. Cardamom is you need it in your life if you're gonna make French toast or anything with cinnamon based rather.
Damn. But I'm coming up there. Let me put my order in. My brother just had a baby. And I'm like so excited because the baby had a baby, right? So I will be there. I think, I have my surgery. Now I'm having my surgery, so that pushed me. So I'm going to say like December now because I was supposed to come in September, but the surgery's in September. So be ready for me. I'm going to put my order in.
Just let me know. I tell everybody anytime they come up, I'm right next to the airport I'm a train away from the airport. So just come and spend the night. I'll cook for you. I'll do all that.
Don't
come get some meat.
Listen, come on, we on the way. All right. So since we didn't talk to me, my stomach growl. All right. So let's talk about it. So you have done so many great things. I've been following you on Facebook. I saw you get into some food festivals. You did some competitions. Girl, I watch all you guys silently because I be on Facebook jail, so I can't comment. But I watch you guys, and I'm a fan of all of you guys, right? Like I'm a true fan of everyone on this board. But girl, tell us all these great things because you have literally. I remember when we first did this, you were bottling your own sauces, and then now you're doing competitions and taste and bites. Like, girl, tell us. I'm ready. I'm excited.
So I still do my sauces and everything, but when we first did the vision board like 2 years ago, I feel like I was dealing with a lot of family stuff. I was dealing with a lot of custody issues. I was dealing with things and I was wearing it a lot on my face, but I knew I had to do something about it. I feel like my vision board was very much all over the place. I had those 4 quadrants, but those 4 quadrants were filled up with just ideas, brainstorming, things that I really wanted to do. And it really wasn't until in March 2020, keep on forgetting, it's 2022, I went to visit my grandma and I hadn't seen my grandma in 25 years, my Jamaican side. Hadn't seen her. I've kept in contact with her. I hadn't seen that side of my family. And my mom was like, just wait till you get down there. You're going to see a difference in yourself. You're going to see a different person in yourself. And so I visited her for a whole week. I stayed with her. I talked to her. Everyone said, your Jamaican grandma, she's going to hit your thighs and tell you gotten a little fat.
And they was like, so just be prepared for that. And sure enough, she did. She smacking my thighs, talking about, oh, one of your thighs is two or three of my thighs. So I didn't get discouraged about it or anything, but I knew that I really had to start doing something about my health. I knew I had to start doing something about everything that was making me feel the way that I was feeling. And a lot of it, like, it was a lot of stress. My blood pressure was 139/95. Like, it was a lot. Like, it was a lot that I was going through. And when I came back from Miami, I knew I had to change. Rewind, in December of 2021, I got in a really bad car accident, and I wasn't the person driving, but I was in a head-on collision going 80 miles per hour. And I woke up mid-accident while the accident was happening. And the car was crashing. And I literally blacked out from it and walked out scotch-free. Like, no back injury, no anything. And I knew at that moment, I was like, okay, there was a reason why I got in this car accident and did not die. I was like, I have to really find my purpose. There's a purpose for this. And that's when I really, again, started getting really more serious about what I wanted to do and things that I wanted to do. And now fast forward back, coming back from Miami, my grandma eats really healthy. She's always like into making sure she's independent, making sure that she eats fresh fruit every morning. And I'm thinking to myself, this woman is 85 years old. Why can't I be doing the same things for myself that she's routinely doing every day? Praying, going to church, being good to people, being in community, spending time with family. And so once I came back, I was like, oh, it's game time. I got to start doing a 360. I need to get my life together a little bit more. And I started working out. I got a trainer, and I've been working out successfully now for, I think, 16 months. But working out, and the reason why I had to come to that point of saying that is because that's what's really made me have like a clear mind about everything. Like, me getting this stress off my back, me getting not feeling so bad about my custody situation, actually taking accountability and apologizing for some things, which I had to really put my pride aside for, and I had to get real about me changing those things to be able to change myself for the future. If I didn't change those things, then I won't be where I'm at today. I wouldn't be able to step out on myself where I'm at today. The vision board last year, I remember Tiffany talked about this one thing has stuck with me. And it sticks with me a lot because it's something that I do and I don't do, but now I do it more. She was like, do you write down your recipes? And I was like, no, they're all in my head. I was like, I can remember all of them. But then I started to be like, well, that's the reason why sometimes my food's not consistent, is because I'm not writing stuff down. I'm not honing in on, okay, this is what is on this and this was on this. So in this last literally year, I've been gathering recipes. I've been gathering what I want my food to be, what I want my brand to be, who I want to be in cooking. And as a lot of people have seen, I haven't really been cooking lately. I've been working out and focusing on getting healthy. And that's been the biggest thing. And that's been the biggest help in transitioning me into trying to be where I'm at now. Me doing the cooking competitions was something that was so scary. I couldn't even believe that I did it. But I was like, I have to sign myself up for it. I was like, I'm going to do it regardless. I did lose the first competition, and I lost the second one this last year. The first one, I was very nervous. I was like moving a mile a minute. But the person made chicken Alfredo, and I was just like, whatever, what's going on? Chicken Alfredo, everybody makes chicken Alfredo. Be simple, right? The second one that I made, I actually competed against somebody who's been a judge for quite some time. And I was very, very proud of the dish that I put out. So it was just definitely like a learning step and a stepping stone for me to be like, okay, you can get in front of a crowd now. You can actually talk to people. You don't have to be so nervous. So that's what I've been doing in this last 1 to 2 years. Also, I cooked for Life Jennings too. I did an all vegan meal for him for the Soul Fest, and that was one of my little small, big accomplishments that I did.
That's not small.
It is not small. No, I didn't give myself credit for it, but sometimes I'm like, okay, I can do more. It's on my vision board. Give myself credit.
Huge.
But absolutely do more. So that was another thing that I did that I was like very, very proud of. It told me like, okay, you got it. You just gotta believe in yourself more. You actually have to really step into yourself. So I think this last 2 years, I've really been taking small steps to step into my purpose, to step into what I'm supposed to be doing.
Correct. Okay. So you have done, in my opinion, that's a major accomplishment. So for 2024, well, actually not 2024, God gonna make sure we do another vision board in 3 months. I'm gonna plan that out now. We'll put it in November, because by November I should be, hopefully back to 100%. Be proud of yourself. You are doing things that are unimaginable. Give yourself, we always say, give ourselves some grace. Give yourself some credit.
Yeah.
You did something to me. You cooked for a celebrity.
I know. Look, it was so last minute. And when it happened, I was like, oh my God, vegan. Okay, can I do this? And I pulled it together. And I heard they thought that the crab cakes were meat. And I was like, no, it's all vegan, baby.
That's it. And see, guess what? That's the cool thing about vegan food, right? If you can literally be able to take your love for food and put it into something and make us believe that it's crab meat, you're amazing. And I want you to know that you're very amazing, friend.
Thank you. Guys, you gotta start believing more in yourself. Some more self-love, more prioritizing yourself.
That's it. Okay, so we talked about career. So I saw on Facebook a couple weeks ago, you said that you are really working on teaching people how to run a food truck.
Yes. So that literally, like, as Ernie was talking about, that literally fell into my lap. Like, I don't even know how it happened. It was kind of like, well, no, I do know how it happened. My first restaurant that I opened was Dusty's Hideaway in Tacoma, Washington. And that was just a regular job as a kitchen manager, but they didn't have anyone to do the recipes, the menu. They didn't have kitchen design. They didn't have anything. And it was honestly my first time doing it too. And I was like, oh, fuck it, fake it till you make it. Like, it's just not to be what it is, you know? I didn't get paid for that job until I actually got on their payroll. So everything that I did for their restaurant until them successfully opening was unpaid. And then I got paid for like a month or so. And then I ended up leaving. But after that, I was like, oh, well, shoot, I know how to write out a full operational plan. I can do the floor plan. I was like, I know how to write out the actual business plan for the recipes. I know how to do all these things. And then someone that I did a medicated dinner with asked me to do their corn truck. And I did that first corn truck. I didn't make a lot of money off of it. I literally didn't really charge them anything. I didn't know my worth, because I was like, oh, this is just something I know how to do. This is just random. But that truck took me 9 months to complete. And I was like, 9 months? This person's calling me night and day, asking me for different things. And this is too much time. And I'm like, this is too much. So that he actually ended up referring me to another lady. And this lady actually has two restaurants and wants to open her food truck.
Okay.
And I've been working. I actually had something in there to say, okay, no, this is what you have to pay. And I actually charged what my worth was, which was in the thousands. And I thinking like, okay, maybe this is too much. She signed it and paid it the next day, all cash. And I was like, oh, okay, I can actually do this. It's now a business. I went into a restaurant for to get a second job little thing. I didn't get hired because she told me, she was like, you already know how to open up a complete business. Why are you here? She was like, I'm not going to hire you. She said, because you already have a business within a business. She said, you can open up all these businesses in different places. And so I didn't take that as a bad thing. I was like, oh, that's a compliment. I was like, I need to start stepping into that. So now where I'm at is my end goal in all of this, of course, is to open up a restaurant, is to have your own food establishment. That's my end goal. But working towards it, definitely catering, meal prep, website, and consulting is what I like to do. I love business development. I've always been the person who's the plug. I would like to be able to do that within business as well. Just making sure my connection's okay. With business and well. So, that, like I said, it just fell into my lap, but now it's like, I have to actually make this a thing because it makes actual really good money. So it's been fun. It's a lot of hard work, but I feel like in the end, when a restaurant opens with a full plan that I've written, their kitchen design is nice, I'm able to inspect their equipment. I'm like, okay, dang, these are all the things that you learned in culinary school. These are all the things that you've taken on each step that you've done in each little restaurant that you've worked at, or each little place that you've taken business acumen from. So it's been a journey doing it, but I actually love that. It's going to be part of my repertoire in food. Oh, I I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, there you go. Haha. All right. So as we wrap up, there you go. So if you can give one word from 21 to 2023, what would that word be?
I would have to say perseverance. Actually just staying consistent and going toward, like, literally consistently going towards your goal and not being scared to go towards your goal. I think in this last 2 years, if I had not been working out, like, I can lift 240 on my back. I don't know how I can do all that, right? But I was not able to do that 2 years ago. I was not able to lift 100 pounds 2 years ago. But all those things, all these small things that I've been through, they've literally just prepared me for today and tomorrow and the future. And I'm stronger because of that. Perseverance is my word to go for. Last year was accountability. I feel like last year I took a lot of accountability for a lot of things I was doing. This year's perseverance.
Well, perseverance, and you have done just that. Thank you so much for continuously,
Thank
even
you.
through my hiatus. Thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. I cannot wait to come and try this food because I'm a foodie, and y'all already know.
Please come through. Do not come through.
Oh,
I'll make it work. Wow.
Look, my brace is off now, so can eat some stuff. All right, so let me bring up my husband, who is working me to death with this PowerPoint. Y'all, this man became a professor, and when I tell y'all he got this PowerPoint down packed.
You hold on, cousin. You want me to turn it up since it's the cousins now?
Come on, turn it up one good time for him. Hey, that I'm a yin yang. Look, I'm a yin yang hoochie mama.
I better play with you. We gonna stop.
Hold on, let me downsize us because let me pull you over. Hold on, wait a minute. I might be froze.
Somebody said they backstage twerking.
Listen, if we're gonna do nothing else, we're gonna twerk, baby.
I love y'all. I just want to say while you pulling it up, everybody that has gone before me, oh my God. When I tell you I'm over here full, I have been backstage hype. I'm looking like from 2021 to 2023, the come up has been real, the glow up has been real, the grow up has been real. You listen, y'all have done that. I'm just glad to be a part of the ride.
Oh my gosh. So my computer's froze. So
it's okay. I got it.
I'm gonna get us together. You talk it. All right. So from 2021 to 2023, what does that look like for you?
2021 and 2023 has been, man, whew. You know, we both were in Mississippi. We both were trying to find our way. We had a goal in mind, but we just didn't know. We was like, okay, God, okay, now we love Mississippi, but we low-key don't want to be here. I know, we've had those conversations, those phone conversations, like, bro, we got to get up out of here, bro. This ain't it. This ain't the one. This ain't the two. Like y'all just don't understand. We love Mississippi. That's gonna always be home. I never deny anybody that asks me, where you from? Greenville, Mississippi, born and raised. Please know that.
That's
but
right.
That wasn't the place for us to grow and to develop and to flourish. Like we know we have the ability to reach more than what Mississippi technically has to offer.
Correct.
And so I've been having so many revelations while all of y'all were talking. It was like, we've been doing the vision board party, and every one of you guys have said the word plan. And I was like, okay. And you know, the Bible says, write the vision, make it plain. He didn't say plans. And the saying always goes, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. He didn't say tell him your vision, because he wants you to have your vision. And you notice the word vision has two eyes, because you need to don't get me started. The word vision has two eyes, so you got to see it in order for it to happen. Baby, I've been over here shouting.
Come on, doctor, come on through.
Listen,
this Sunday.
I didn't ran in this house. I'm like, okay, because the progress from then to now for me has been personal. It has been long overdue. I have worked hard. I'm so glad that all of you guys are securing these degrees. I can't wait till we have the vision board party where everybody, it's gonna start with Dr. Akia Collins and go all the way down and then Dr. This, Dr. This. I'm like, come on, because I'm ready. I'm waiting on y'all. I'm waiting on y'all. And I'm a root for each and every one of you like your family, because you know what? You are family.
We are family.
We are family. And I love you guys. When in 2021, I'm gonna tell you, so I did the vision board party in my car in front of my mom's house. And now in 2023, I'm sitting in my house that I paid for.
That's it.
Oh
Do.
my. Hello, lights.
Don't do hello.
So 2021 to 2023 has been, if I had to describe it, would be progress.
Correct. Okay.
You've been asking this question. So one word to describe 21 to 23 to me is fulfillment. I'm where I am now, where I've always wanted to be. It's honestly, some days I still have to pinch myself because it feels like a dream. For those of you who don't know, who are meeting me for the first time, I am a supervisor at a hospital in Marietta, Georgia. I'm the youngest supervisor on staff at the hospital. I also teach at the #1 HBCU that produces the most Black doctors in the South. And
come on, Morehouse. Come on.
So, and I'm the youngest professor on my staff there as well.
Baby.
When I tell you life has been good. I can't complain. Life has been good.
I put my blurb on there because remember we was listening to Future earlier, and the name of the song is "Life Is Good."
Life is good.
And the reason that came to fruit, right? I'm gonna tell you, if anybody knows, I've been in pain, and one thing I don't do is complain. I roll with the punches.
You roll with it. You toughed out. You tough.
I'm a tough cookie, but the cookie crumbled a couple weeks ago, right? But today we literally were just in Sonic's, right? Mm-hmm. We were getting milkshakes and pretzels, and I just really had to say, life is good.
Life is good.
And I think, just like you said with the vision board, right? The word vision has two eyes. You have to sometimes, and Shawnee said it perfect. Sometimes you got to fake it till you make it.
You have to.
You have, and the reason you have to, because you got to find your positive P, right? You have to.
Absolutely.
And in all retrospect, everything that we've all went through, we literally can look in the mirror and all 7 of us can say, life is good.
Life is good. 20 and 21, I was working 2 jobs. I was overworking myself being fresh out of pharmacy school. At one point, I was working 31 and 33 days straight. I didn't have anything to pay for because I don't have a wife and kids. But I was working myself just to occupy my time because I really didn't know what I wanted or what I wanted to do. 2021, I had moved back with my mom. I was staying with her because I was trying to save up to buy a house. I wanted to help her a little bit. And 21, it really was a road to kind of find what I really wanted to do, to kind of discover what I really wanted in life and to see where I wanted to be more than what I wanted to be. Mm-hmm. So 2023, we're here. We're here.
Yin yang in this thing. That's it. All right. So we've dabbled in finances. We have dabbled in, what first self looks like. What does future look like?
Future is, and what I have my PowerPoint. I don't know if you guys can see it. Future for me is just to continue to progress in all aspects of life, whether it be self, whether it be family, whether it be finances, or just overall in life, just to continue to progress. One of my mentors always said, James, if you feel like you're stagnant, that means you are. Right. And you find something to do, somewhere to go, to always learn something, to improve something, to figure out something else of life that you've never known about. And another thing I have on my PowerPoint is to continue to accomplish goals and shatter stereotypes. Honestly, as a Black male in this current country and this current climate, it's hard. It's hard. People see you, and if they don't absolutely know you, they automatically think, oh, he must be a thug, he must be this and this, cool. But don't let that define you. Don't let that deter you from doing what you want to do. Don't let that stop you from accomplishing anything that you want to. One thing I'm big on now is mentorship. I mentor mentor both African American males and females that are interested in healthcare. I have a bunch of mentors now that are in pharmacy school, that are in residency. One thing about being in the medical field too, I didn't do a residency, but it depends. God will make you be in positions that you would never think you were qualified to even be in. And shout out to the Resume Chop Shop for the wonderful resume. If you need any help with resumes, please, because even though I am cousin, I pay full prices for resumes. Amen. Kia, one thing I do want to say, I got a motto on my PowerPoint. Oh, sorry. So it says, when the winds of change blow, some people build walls and some people build windmills.
Are we windmills?
We windmill in this thing. And
now I gotta go buy a windmill.
Hey, they're actually pretty good as far as profit and revenue, but they're not that initial investment might cost you a little bit.
I mean, it's enough of us on here. We can buy a windmill. Look, let me tell y'all money.
Listen. One thing I do want to talk about too is for self, and I love that pretty much everyone has talked about self-care is one of the things I'm working on. Even though I still work 2 jobs, self-care is essential, especially if you're in the medical field. We deal with patients who are sick, who can't tend to themselves, who can't help themselves. They're in that vulnerable states, and you want to give so much to them and be of service to them, because you never know when you're in that situation. But there is a such thing as giving too much and doing too much, where you neglect yourself and not listen to your own body. I said I was going to do this year, and one thing I have on my vision board is to just really initiate more self-care days. I found out a few months ago that my hospital is across the street, literally, from a well-known massage parlor. Didn't know that. So they're going to see me a few times,
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Y'all know I got a massage envy appointment. I got a lash appointment. I got a facial appointment. I got a me appointment, because sometimes I just need to disconnect, right? And I think the sooner we were always taught work. I don't think I've ever seen my mom get a massage in 36 years. I don't think I've ever heard my mom say, I'm going to get a massage. Like, it's the smallest things, but those things bring us joy. Those things allow us to just kind of reset sometimes, right? So I'm going to work on my windmill effect, because I think this ponytail can hold up. I think it can hold up. So I want to thank y'all. Cousin, thank you so much. Thank you for always listening to me when I'm in a 2 a.m. state of mind and I need to get it out. But thank you again for sticking through this for 2 years. I'm going to bring everybody on stage. We're going to close, and we're going to wrap this thing on up. Gang, y'all there?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
gang.
Okay, I'm there.
Here we go.
A Caesar for Christ.
Right.
That's right.
So can you still walk then?
Can we still do this?
I Christ walk. I look.
That's that part.
Still see walking.
we can see walking 2023. Christ walking. Tip just came up with it. We're here. What kind of shoes do we wear? Because Crips wear Chucks, so I need to know what we wearing.
Well, I'm in Vans every day, so not Crocs.
Okay, then T-Dub.
Look,
it got to be Jordans. I can't do the Chucks.
No, if we're gonna get into it, let's get into how Nana went to that festival, baby, and danced her soul through that entire
That's me. This is what I do. If I'm in my zone, I don't notice nobody else, child.
Baby, I need to come up there so I can go to a smoking event, because when this new neck come through,
this is not the new neck. Good day.
Because every time I get a new neck, I start cutting up on y'all. So when I get this new neck, baby, be ready. Be ready for me, because I'm coming and we're gonna soak it up through the East Coast. If y'all ain't never been to a soca dance event, you ain't never been dancing.
Not at all, man. That's
Oh,
high.
I hear they're really fun. I hear you.
I'm like, me and Shawnee Caribbean. We
Listen,
know.
okay, check this out. Let's plan this.
Right.
Right? What they got, Juve in New York in September for Labor Day, right? Or we can go to Juve in October in Miami.
Miami.
I'm still in Miami.
It's always hot. So y'all pick and choose where we go. I mean, September 24th is next year, so we got ample time to plan and pay.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been to both. The city of New York does not sleep, so there's a difference. I'm from Miami, so we can take a nap.
We are of a particular age.
Yes.
Baby, I believe in naps since I've been hurt. Y'all, I take a 3-hour nap every day after work, get up, eat, and then go to sleep. Ever since I've been hurt, I'm like, this is what I've been missing, naps.
I take a nap every day.
You have
I'm
been.
sorry.
I haven't evolved to naps yet. My body just don't do it. I don't know what's wrong with me. I try, but my body will not sleep.
Naps-
When my phone battery is low, that means I'm low. Put me back on the track.
Well, y'all, how about this? So I'm gonna do better because y'all know I've been hurt, so I'm off my game. So let's go for the second week of November, another vision board party. I'm gonna tell y'all, I cannot believe we have 4,500 viewers.
Hey,
I've
y'all.
been in Facebook jail, but I'm out now.
Yes.
Yeah, girl, my impressions are up. Facebook is paying me now. So
Let's
we
go.
in a good space. So the fact that we got 4,500 viewers on this makes me extremely ecstatic, right? So in November we got to bring it because now we got to start tying them brands to some money. You got to start getting paid for this for real.
Right.
So thank you guys again. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate everything you guys have done for me. I appreciate you guys even hanging in with me with this 2-year hiatus of the vision board. So be ready for 2024 because we're gonna do this live. This is gonna be live. This is gonna be in person. It's gonna be an Eventbrite event. We're gonna have kits, and we're coming to collect dollars on this one.
Okay.
So we're gonna have this is a effort by all of us. So be ready because this is a team tandem thing.
Mhm.
Tandem
We put our hands in. 1, 2, 3, break.
break. Ready. Well, I love you guys and good night. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all so much. You guys just don't even understand. I'm excited we did this. Like a kid on the first day of school. I'm gonna go put some pants on when we get done. Excited. Put on some slacks. I love y'all. Well, everyone on Facebook, you guys have seen it here. Even though we took a 2-year hiatus, you would never even know the difference. I want to thank every single person on this call for taking the time to do this and also staying consistent with this. Because even through my lacking of being on time with everything, you guys still came through and y'all hit the home run like every single time, like I knew you guys would. Again, thank you guys. And I'll see everybody, of course, all the time, but we'll be back here in November. And we really gonna get busy in November because I can't wait to see what the new goals going into 2020. We're not gonna beat them people. We're going to the gym in 2024. We're not gonna beat them. We already doing it. I ain't worried about it. We already there.
I ain't doing it, but I got a husband that loves me. So he said when I'm ready, I'm good.
Listen, you better get this fluff and better rub. That's all I know.
Okay.
I'm gonna be fluffy till the doctor say I can work out.
Oh man.
Steroids ain't fun. Well, y'all have a good night. Thank y'all. Let's close the Facebook.
Have a good night.
All right.